Welcome back to the Andrew Hines Real Estate Investing Podcast, here for another midweek episode. And I want to apologize first off for missing last week's midweek episode. It's been crazy busy. I'll start off with, we had our book launch. Real Estate Titans, Tools, Tactics, and Wisdom for Canadian Real Estate Wealth, launched on Kindle format only on Friday. We were doing something a little different, and we just pushed only that version. Well, we got a crazy amount of sales, so I set that out to my list. Kind of just talk to people we know. We hit Amazon #1 bestseller in a whole bunch of categories. Every single category our book was listed in, we hit #1 bestseller. So we just want to thank everybody who bought a copy. It's absolutely huge. It's a huge thing to be able to say you're a best-selling author. It was a big goal for John and I to do that with our book, because we wanted to I wanted to hit being an author with a splash. So really, really appreciative and really, really excited for everything that's coming. So for those of you who don't know, this is a real estate book where my co-author John Schwenker and I, we profiled 20 some odd different real estate investors on their strategies. So many of these people were guests on my podcast. Some were not, but many were. And they were people that a longtime listener, my co-author, John Schwenker, picked. So he approached me with the idea for this book, said, Andrew, I want to write a book profiling guests, want to put our heads together. And we kind of worked out what the idea would be. And I think we put something really awesome together. So it's a buffet of different ideas and strategies with a bit of a framework for how to potentially apply them in your real estate investing business. So whether you're new or whether you're well established and you just want to continue to scale and develop your skills, this book has got something for you. And I'm really excited that it's now available. So the paper copy actually just came out on Monday. So we do have some giveaways that are attached to this. And I highly encourage you to still check out my Instagram. If we get some late entries, we'll still consider them. So this is coming out on Wednesday. Actually, I guess this might be Thursday. Either way, still check my Instagram to see if the giveaways are still live. Hopefully, you're already on my email list as previously instructed, and you would have got an email telling you how to enter. So a good chance by the time this airs that the giveaway is already done, but we're giving away a whole bunch of stuff, big coaching package and giveaway package from our profiled investors from the book. So pretty cool. It includes a 60-minute coaching from me, one of my Ask Me Anything sessions. It includes coaching and a course from Dave Knight, a book from Mel and Dave. We've got Mandy Branham doing a coaching session in there. And there is, something's escaping me. There's more than that. Anyways, check the email. You would have got it if you're on my list. Okay. So, that's crazy. I kind of had to give my head a shake because we just put this on pre-order. So as of Thursday night, we had already hit bestseller in multiple categories, just from sending out an email to my list. And then of course we, talked to everybody we know and just said, hey, would you help us out and buy a copy of the book? And, like I said, super grateful, super, super weird feeling, but, obviously very happy that that's the case and that this has happened. What else can I say about that? I think that pretty much covers it. There's going to be more. Just for those of you who are like me and like audiobook, I'm like pure audiobook these days. I don't much listen to paperback, I don't much read paperback just because of time restrictions. So Audible, I've had multiple people ask me about that. When's that coming out? I'm working on that as we speak. And I'm literally not recording it right now, but I've already recorded multiple chapters. That's going to be a little bit of a labor of love for me. Obviously audio and stuff comes fairly naturally to me. I've been doing this kind of thing for a long time. It's going to take a bit of time. I'm guessing we're looking at least 30 days out, if not 60. But just knowing how the market's changed these days, I feel like Audible will probably be our biggest seller. I could be wrong about that. I just feel like people want that audiobook. It's very, very common with investor-minded people and with people who are focused on constant improvement. If you're focused on constant improvement, you would have understood the concept of the university on wheels and constantly improving. So anyways, switching gears, what else has been going on? 2 weeks is a long time in my world these days, although the weeks seem to fly by. We're already in late May, and that's insane. But here we are. And here's what's been going on. So in our real estate flipping business down in Florida, as you know, Matt Piche and I are working on that together. We have our first deal closing next week. And I know, man, I've been talking about that first deal for a long time. We've had multiple misfires, multiple failures to launch. But this one, I do believe everything's going well with the title companies. Everything seems to be moving forward. This one is 20 acres that's somewhere just not too far from Daytona. And what we're going to be doing with this one is we're buying it for just under 100,000. We're going to be listing it for 200. So that's something we've already sent the realtor that's going to be listing it out. He's taken photos. We've got some issues with the neighbor blocking our access, but we're just working through all that stuff right now. We got another one that got tied up last week. Another one where we're right in the ballpark of, 55 cents, 50 cents on the dollar. We're proceeding in the closing process. So we've kind of, a lot of it's been trial and error. Like, what does the closing process look like? What does the due diligence period look like? So typically our offers allow us to stay conditional right up to closing. But of course, we still got to raise our money for closing. We're still involving realtors, title companies. I mean, if we're blowing up deals, we're obviously aggravating people, and we don't want to do that. So what we're doing is we've keeping the open communication with our realtor that we've encountered down there. He seems like an absolute gem, and he basically will go out to the property. So after we're good, we're satisfied, we've run our comps, we think everything looks good from everything we can do without being on the property, we send him out before we close to do a final look over, get photos and video. And if he gives us his blessing at that point, now we're going to go ahead and move. So that's our final portion. So this second lot I was just talking about, we're sending him out. He's probably there tomorrow because it's Memorial Day as I record this in the US. So he'll probably be out there tomorrow, kind of just doing a visual survey of that property and taking his photos, taking his video. And then that allows us to move to the next step. And where we're at with this is, as soon as we feel ready, as soon as we've had all of our questions answered and we've got our title search back from the title company, we're just going to close as quickly as we can. And part of the reason with this first one, we're just kind of learning our processes, and we're naturally going to be a little slower if that's the case. But going forward, it's just going to get more and more streamlined. And then of course our disposition, that'll be a learning process too. We won't be as smooth as we will be in a year from now, but this business just keeps looking better and better. We're moving, we're spending a lot of money on marketing. I just got another bill for $6,700 from our cold call center. That's just for 4 weeks of calling for our 4 callers, and we're about to add a 5th caller. We're adding in more acquisitions managers. So again, if you're interested in being an acquisition manager for us, make sure you throw your name in the hat. Contact us early, because when we do a new round of hiring, we bring them on quick. So it's basically whoever's loudest with us and puts their best foot forward. So just keep that in mind. If you are interested in working for us, taking a piece of the action, learning from our team, from Matt, from definitely get in touch. Not saying we have any openings right now, we don't, but it's definitely something that you'll want to keep me posted on if you are interested. So as we move through that process, like I said, we're going to get better and better at it. Well, get this, we just signed up 2 more properties. It's like all of a sudden you hit that critical mass and things just start going. You just finally pops. We get to that point. So at the end of last week, we tied up an island, a 40-acre island, which the tide affects. So when the tide is absolute at its height, it's about just shy of 4 acres, an island off of St. Petersburg and Tampa. And I'm just thinking, like, one of our biggest challenges here is, how do you value an island? And fortunately, we have a very good land realtor, and he said he's up to the task, so he's going to help us. But we've got it under contract for a decent price. I'm not going to say the price because it's not a done deal. And anyways, we got it under contract for what we think is a good price, but we really don't know. For me, it's and Matt made this joke, and I think it's totally true. It's either worth almost nothing or it's worth like millions. And I'm just thinking, like, there's extremely wealthy people in Tampa. Somebody's going to want an island for bragging rights, and you can't necessarily build on it. I think you kind of would be crazy to build on it. But if you did, maybe if you elevated it up like 30 feet, I don't know, there's probably a way. There's probably something you could do there, but that's not what we're banking on, and we'd leave that to somebody else. But this could potentially be like an absolute, like, year maker. It could be a decade maker. I don't know. Or it could be nothing. It could just dissolve and go away and be nothing. And that's one of those things. You can't get too emotionally attached to a deal. You can't get too emotionally attached even to a strategy. Sometimes you got to pivot. So for our lists, we started out just mailing 10 acre plus on the land. We're now also expanding that into 5 to 10 acre parcels, and we'll probably go down to 1 acre parcels or even half acre parcels. It's just we like the larger numbers because the larger numbers allow us to keep the realtors on the back end motivated to want to sell our product. Because I mean, if you get into really small deals, you're gonna have to pay the realtors more. It's gonna be harder to attract them. But with that said, with the relationship we have with the realtor we have, I think he'd do all the business from us because, as it looks right now, we're probably going to be feeding him a steady, 4 deals a month. Like, it looks like we're on pace based on just how quickly we've been tying up deals lately. And we're going to get better. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, we started inefficient. We spent a lot of money. We're like after I pay this invoice, we'll be like $35,000 in spend just on this specific strategy. That doesn't even cover what I spent before when I was doing mailers. That's probably like another $13,000. So there's been a lot of refinement, a lot of investment in a strategy with no guarantee. And that's just the business I decided to opt into. That's the business that Matt's done so much of. And it's been fun. We're having fun with it. And it's just starting to seem really great, working through the process. I think it's interesting that the people who've been following me on this show get kind of an inside look into what we're doing and get the play-by-play of how it's going so far. You've witnessed many missteps, many hiccups, misfires, and I'm hoping that you will see a lot of doubles, singles, triples, home runs in the process too, which I'm very excited and think that you will. All right, so with that said, I mean, if you have questions about any of this stuff, let me know. If you want to get involved and lend on any of this stuff, let me know. We have an opportunity for that. Last note, the campground. So we got a campground in our resort, and those are doing well. What's interesting to me is in the past, we've had our best performers. Like last year, our best performer out of anything was an Airstream on our campground. This year, our best performer, like the Airstream, first off, has not booked up pretty much at all yet. And I'm sure that will come like later on. Like the Airstream's super enticing. It's like a super clean, modern, renovated trailer. But we have a trailer on our site called the Shipwreck, and it was an old trailer that we bought off of one of the long-term seasonal renters on our camp. And one of the reasons we bought it is because he didn't know how to move it off of site. He couldn't get access to the side of it to actually move it the way it's positioned on the site. So our solution was like, I don't know what we're going to do here. Do you want us to just buy this? Is that better? And he agreed, yeah, that's better. So we bought it off of him for a decent price for us. And then we spent some money renovating it, color coordinating the whole thing, and then painting a Shipwreck mural across the outside of this thing. And it's pretty cool if I do say so myself, but I never would have predicted it's our top performer. I will say that I thought it was the best trailer we had, even though it's older, because it's just monstrous inside. Like it's really, really cool. It's almost double wide on the inside, and I don't know how that was accomplished, but it's got that pop out on the back, but it's like it spans basically almost the whole trailer. So really, really spacious. I mean, if you were to buy something equivalent today in a brand new trailer, it'd be wildly expensive. But that one, I think we already have like $13,000 or $15,000 in bookings, and it's May. I mean, Gotta be a record. So we're super excited to see some of that stuff happening. Also at our Neptune's Hideaway cottage resort, we're seeing some crazy bookings on our Big Blue cottage, which it wasn't even available at this time last year. Actually, we didn't even own the whole thing. We just would have closed on this project just over a year ago. I think it was like the 23rd or 24th of May last year. So we're about a year in now. We didn't have a run up, so we're really just excited. At a year where you actually have your photos, your marketing, everything, your listings up, you really get to enjoy the fruits of last year's labors. And that's the nature of this hospitality business. When you're so seasonal, it's like if you buy something mid-season, or if you come into it, or you add units mid-season, it's not going to be until next year that those are really going to hit, because you got to have minimum three reviews and ratings so that you can actually show a ranking, like a 5-star or a 4-star or whatever it is on Airbnb. And and that will allow you that lead up. So we're fortunate to have that. Of course, there's so much more to do. We're working on our development plan for Neptunes, where we're going to be adding, it looks like 16 more cottages on that lakefront property. And then on our camp, we're going to be adding amenities space, doing a bunch of cool stuff, which I've talked about in the past. We're just gearing up. We've been working with an exempt market dealer and a set of consultants that consults for off-market or for capital raise and structuring exempt market dealer offerings. So we're going through that whole thing already, and stay tuned if you're interested in becoming a partner with us on one of those projects. There will be an opportunity. You will hear about it, and I'll basically be able to point you in the direction of our exempt market dealer to learn more about that. So stay tuned. I'm really excited about it. I just think it's incredible the things that we could accomplish, and it's awesome to be able to have fun with real estate. And I really do think that the stuff we're doing now is fun, which I don't know, some people say you shouldn't have fun with it, but I mean, I'm an active investor. So if it's not fun, then I don't enjoy my work, and that's no good. So anywho, if you want to reach out to me, touch base, let me know what you think of these episodes. Let me know what you want to hear more about. Feel free to send me an email. It's andrew@andrew-hines.com, or you can reach out via Instagram, and that is the Instagram handle is @theandrewhines. So those will be in the description of this video. That's probably the best two ways to get me. And like I said, yeah, thanks for your support. Show this video some love if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're a podcast audio listener, please rate, review, give 5 stars. It just helps more people to find the show and helps it to grow. All right. Thanks a lot. And I will talk to you on the weekend.